Crew and WTR in the same box? No more super rares. What's going on? Hi friends, welcome back to Nearly Same Games. I'm Neil, and today we're talking about what's next for Crew, the cards that were in Crew, and WTR and Arcane Rising. Now last time we talked about how I thought that Crew was going to be the last supplemental set. And I think that there's additional things that we can look at that suggest that might be the case. First off, let's look at why Crew was developed in the first place. Crew was developed to simplify. I don't think Crew was the original plan. I think the original plan was larger sets for Welcome to Rathe and Arcane Rising. And I think what happened was the cards in Crew were pulled out of those sets to simplify those earlier sets to make onboarding for the game a lot easier. You can see that, like Skullhorn, for instance, mentions Arcane Barrier, which at the time Welcome to Rathe was brought out. That would have made no sense. You also look at Arg Smash that talks about items, which doesn't really make much sense in Welcome to Rathe. And I think that there are some other more complexities in those cards that it didn't really make sense to start the casual player with. And I think that you look at the sets that we have now, and we have majestic weapons in these new sets. In Tales of Aria, in Monarch, there were these alternate weapons that you can choose for your heroes if you manage to pull them. And I think that's where what the majestic equipment turned into. I think the majestic equipment in Crucible of War is kind of the equivalent of the majestic weapons that are in Monarch and are in the base set. And so what I think is probably going to happen next is that they've announced Crew is out of print, and the reason they start with Crew is because it had the most limited supply, and it's not a draftable set, and it still has value. And that's an important point we're going to get to in a little bit here. But I think what's going to happen next is there's going to be an announcement for Welcome to Rathe is out of print, Unlimited is out of print, and they'll let the supply kind of dry up a little bit as collectors go mad and lose their mind that they have to get all of that because now it's a collectible item. And then I think they'll announce Arcane Rising is out of print as the current stock kind of filters through the printers in right now. And again, there'll be a mad rush to buy out all of those. And after the warehouses kind of drop down on their supply a little bit of that, and we don't have that available as much anymore, we're going to announce Revised Edition. Now, how do I know that? Well, I happen to get a sneak peek of Flesh and Blood's roadmap, and I think Revised is next on the list. And what exactly does Revised bring us? Well, Revised will be a combination of the cards that are in Welcome to Rathe and the cards for Welcome to Rathe in Crew. Also, it'll be a revised edition of Arcane Rising that will have Arcane Rising and the cards from Crew that belong to that set. And this will be kind of a super draft set. And now that we've established the game, we can combine these sets the way that they were originally supposed to be combined. And it still is a little bit higher barrier of entry, a little bit more complex, but the game has evolved from that. And a lot of people are going to onboard with Tales or onboard with Monarch or onboard with the next set and have these later sets to onboard with, and this will be kind of more of the retro game to kind of play for us older people that were around when Welcome to Rathe and Arcane Rising were still the popular sets to play. So if we do this revised box, what changes? There's going to be some kind of give and takes on what's going to be different there. And I think like Drone of Brutality won't be in this new revised set. There's not going to be super rares. There's only going to be Majestics and rares. I think that they're going to equalize that out a little bit, and I think that there will be some cards that will be upgraded to Majestic, and some cards that will be downgraded to rare. I think like the specializations have a good chance of just being downgraded to rare, kind of like Soul Harvest and Soul Reaping in Monarch, and I think that those they might be short printed so that they don't show up quite as much, but I expect that's kind of the direction that they're going to want to go. It'll simplify the rarity system for new players. It'll also allow them to bring in those crew Majestics, and also normalize the distribution of the Command and Conquers and the Enlightened Strikes, and have those be more common, because you will get the established number of Majestics, 7 or 8 Majestics in each box, and they won't be limited to those very small Majestic slots, where you only get 1 or 2 Majestics in a box, and if you don't get the Command and Conquer, if you don't get the E-Strike, then you're kind of out of luck. I also expect that they're going to try to do some Easter eggs in there. So maybe the foil Enlightened Strike and the foil Command and Conquer will have a new unique art treatment to them, which will make these boxes more valuable. This will also, by bringing in the Majestics from Crucible of War, which currently all have good value, that will bring the regular average prices of these boxes higher than what they are now. Like you get an Arcane Rising box, it's Skullcap, or it's either Legendary or Command and Conquer or Bust. But if you bring in these other Majestics into that pool, that will raise the value of that overall pool. And then you add these Easter eggs in there, and that will also raise the value. I think that they'll also bring in the open circle rarity symbols that were introduced in Monarch. I think that those will be stamped on all of these new cards. We brought them in, we also had them in Crew Unlimited, and we'll just push that forward to a little bit more standardized. I know it'll make a third instance of Welcome to Rathe and Arcane Rising, but it will start to normalize those cards to more resemble the pattern going forward. I think that they're going to bring the alternate heroes that you have, like Kasai and KO and Benji, and those are all going to become tokens in this new set. I also think that their weapons will be tokens in this new set. So when you draft, you can draft for Dorinthia, or you can draft for Kasai and go for the Sabers build or a Dawnblade build, and so you will get more variety as to what you're playing as, and you'll have a bit different things going around in your draft pools. And I think that would be an interesting dynamic that I don't necessarily have to draft the Sabers. I can just grab the tokens for the Sabers and play as those. And you kind of want a little bit of different build if you're playing for Sabers versus if you're playing for playing with Dawnblade. So it'll be this really interesting draft experience. The thing I don't think you're going to see in there are going to be Kavdane, Cheyenne, or the Arc Knight Shard. I think that those will be relegated back to Crucible of War packages. They'll be exclusive to that, and you won't see those again. And I think that that will make collectors of those items happy with that, and you know, people playing the new this new revised set happy with the draft and sealed experience that you can get from that. I think that this will just make a really like this kind of super draft kind of experience that you have. These you can start drafting and using these Crucible cards right along with your Welcome to Rathe cards, or use these Crucible cards right along with your Arcane Rising cards, and have that really rich experience. And this handles the problems of Crucible of War being having these weird sized packs that they have to have, having this weird sized box. They all just go into the regular size box. The prints is not that unusual. We're talking about a print size that would still probably be smaller than the Monarch print run. We've done the two-handed weapons as tokens with Bolton. I think that all of these things are we've done these things before, and these newer sets have given kind of a test run on how we're going to print this and how all of this is going to be managed. And I really believe that this new, you know, LSS really likes to follow things that Magic has done. So they've got the Alpha run, they've got the Unlimited run. I think Revised is next, and it takes care of all these problems. It reduces the number of sets that they have to keep reprinting. They can reprint Welcome to Rathe Revised Edition. They can reprint Arcane Rising Revised Edition. And between the two of them, that take care of Crucible of War. And it is a set that can still be drafted. It's a set that can still be played with sealed. And you can still have the game experience that is intended for Flesh and Blood, and still be reprinting all the cards. The common cards are just there, and they're already easy to get, and they will still be available, but they'll also be rolled into your draft experience, which will be kind of a new and exciting treat for people that have been looking for ways to incorporate Crew into a limited sealed gameplay experience. And I'm excited for it. I think that all of this will be a great addition to the game. I think that if they put in a few Easter eggs, if they have, you know, a super special Easter egg in there with a new foil available in there, alternate art, I think that will be exciting for collectors. I think that people will want to, and I think it'll put value back in these boxes with having those majestic equipment in the box. Will raise the overall price of the box. It'll probably reduce the cost of that equipment a little bit, but I mean, how cool would it be to crack open Courage of Bladehold and play that in a draft environment? I think it's going to be really cool. This is the direction I feel like Legend Story Studios is taking, and you know, we'll see where this goes. Tell me what you think, and do you agree with me? Do you think that this is a feasible thing, or would you be excited about that kind of a revised packaging and playing sealed and draft in this new kind of environment? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.